How does that fucking asshole Drama Alert always open his?
Oh, Keemstar, let's get right into the news.
There is no nose here, only dead memes.
Yeah. I think I can probably do a better impression. Let's get right into the news. You have to do the game show, like nasally kind of thing. He was actually at the AVN Awards. I don't know if I sent you that link for All Gas No Brakes.
Oh fuck! I was gonna watch that.
Yeah, but the latest video that All Gas No Brakes did was the AVNs, and Keemstar was there in the background.
Oh god!
I think it goes to the Adult Video Entertainment Awards every year. But yeah, he didn't get interviewed by him, but he was there in the background just watching,
as he always does.
Yeah. The one I sent you was the All Gas No Brakes video I sent you was on the Flat Earth Conference, which I don't think I watched that one yet. I only watched the AVNs and the Furry Convention, and also some of the opening of Florida Man, where he's just interviewing basically a Florida man, and it's like it makes you think about how stereotypes are, and how when I was a teenager I was like, oh, stereotypes aren't real, man. They're like, people are more complex than that. But then I remember meeting somebody in high school who fit the nerd template so fucking dead on.
Did he play Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Yeah, he was one of them, or at least talked about playing Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yeah, blonde hair and glasses, and he talked like that.
Oh god,
he had the exact Poindexter kind of voice that I thought only existed in cartoons, but he talked exactly like Mandark or whatever.
Oh my god,
like that's that voice actor he was also in Polar Express, who was a character who was also coincidentally blonde and wore glasses.
Yeah, oh my god. I fucking love that movie. I love it for all the wrong reasons. I like the headcanon that all those children died that night and this is their eternal hell.
I know the last movie that what's his name, Robert Zemeckis, because I think the last one he did was Welcome to Marwin, which is about the true story about that guy who got punched into a concussion by in a bar fight, and then he made up this fantasy world full of strong female women in a war zone or something. And that movie bombed so hard that I don't think that Zemeckis is ever going to work in Hollywood again.
I like his Beowulf movie.
Yeah, I mean I think I saw 20 minutes, the first 20 minutes of that, and I think I had riff tracks on too, because I remember I think John Malkovich is one of the actors in that.
Yeah.
And one line's it was when after Grendel comes in, bursts in and kills everybody, and then zooms on John Malkovich's character, and Mike's like, now he's peeing John Malkovich, and Kevin Murphy's there, he's like, Mike, I have a gun, I'm not afraid to use it.
I fucking love that movie because I have this unhealthy obsession with Beowulf and Grendel. Mm-hmm. Because the whole myth is it's the story of a guy who has loud fucking neighbors, so he goes to their house and fucking eats their children. What's not to love about that? Yeah,
it is it is the oldest story in the world or something?
No, it's like the oldest written. No, it's like the oldest European one.
Yeah. Oldest written, or is that the Outback of Gilgamesh?
Outback of Gilgamesh is the oldest of all time, I think. I thought Beowulf is the oldest written European one.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But speaking of classic stories, quote unquote, I wanted to talk a bit about Star Wars.
Yeah. Did I do fucking Legend of Zelda? Picture that crossover.
I mean, I feel like I'm getting my books dumped just by thinking about it. And yeah,
the high school of your mind.
Yeah, I liked Thomas, his how he talks about he claims that it's a joke obviously, but he's if you tell a girl that you've never seen a Star Wars movie, then they'll just suck your dick on the spot. It's there's nothing less attractive to a woman than a guy who's seen all the Star Wars movies.
I haven't seen Han Solo. I'm safe.
And I haven't seen Episode 9 either, so that makes me one tier more attractive than you. But you still run laps around me because you're a full foot taller than me. Anyway.
No, I open my mouth and they hear my intro. Oh God, fuck it, Godzilla, infinitely less sexy than Star Wars.
Well, something you say your voice. It's you should try using the Goblin voice on them. They'll just cream themselves instantly.
Hey, baby.
I was thinking about that when I was getting a telemarketer call. I'm I remember Zach Psychic Pebbles from Ramoni Plays. He was saying how like he just made like a retarded voice, and then they never called him back again. Like, hello, I'm 7 years old. Hello.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
You're giving me ideas, man.
I was thinking like next time I just use my Cookie Monster voice. It's like,
Hello, this is me, the Cooming Monster. I need to hear your voice so I can coom.
God.
that's probably like the worst sketch idea I've ever had is the Cooming Monster. If I ever wrote for Saturday Night Live, that would be the first one I pitch.
And you see him, he looks like Cookie Monster knockoff, and then his giant fucking elephantine arm hits it.
Yeah, and instead of blue fur, he has white fur.
But it's blue underneath.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
But back on Star Wars, I really don't want to talk about Star Wars, but like seeing as I just finished playing Jedi Fallen Order,
How'd you like it?
It was okay. I did like it wasn't my favorite. It's not my favorite video game of the year. It reminds me of a lot of Dark Souls. It's pretty clear that Respawn took a lot of influence from Dark Souls, and the combat's fun. The story isn't all that great.
Does Darth Vader show up at the end?
Spoilers, yes.
Fucking called it.
Like, yeah, I mean, it reminded me of Rogue One, where it's like they just have to cram Darth Vader into everything in order to sell it. I don't know. Like, I think it kind of like because I remember hearing a lot of people say, the last hour of Fallen Order is the best. It's like leagues better than the rest of the. I would say that it's like a step above the rest of the game, the last hour, because it's not just the Darth Vader part, but like everything, like that whole last level. It's basically like they send all these enemies at you all at once, and it works because it sort of tests all the skills that you've mastered over the game, and I can see like why people would say it's like the best part of the game because it's like all the you put all your skills to the test.
I hope that when you're done, like when you hit Darth Vader, and obviously he does a Uno reverse card, right?
Yeah, it's he basically curb stomps you. Like you're not even able to fight back. You just like
It's a cutscene.
No, it's gameplay, but you can get a few swings in at him, but then he just like force chokes you and throws you to the ground.
Imagine if somehow you're able to beat him if there's a secret cutscene.
In Devil May Cry 5, something like that.
And then you cut him in half and it's free. He walks on their shoulders.
Oh yeah, it makes me think of the Star Wars Episode 3 game and how there's like an alternate ending where you can play as Anakin in the last battle, and in that version you defeat Obi-Wan and then you kill Palpatine, and it's like, no, the galaxy belongs to me alone. And it's like that's a really neat concept.
Misa's gonna need a new apprentice. Speaking of games, I downloaded Yakuza 0 on Game Pass. Holy fucking shit, the game is good. Apparently it's the best in the franchise, I found out.
Yeah, I've heard people say that.
I knew Yakuza got a bit silly. It's fucking amazing. I did the dating minigame, which is a hello.
Moshi moshi.
I can't do Japanese.
Yeah.
What I love so much is it's a game where I can go an hour of real time without throwing a single punch and still have fun.
Yeah, like the side quests I've heard are like really, really fleshed out to the point where they're basically their own video games.
Yeah. Like the fucking kart racing, dating minigame, where your character possibly loses his virginity to an old woman. And
there's also a fishing or scuba minigame.
Oh god, I haven't done fishing yet. I'm worried about that. I suck at fishing games.
Yeah. I mean, I think like the one I'm thinking of is like actually like a scuba thing, and it's like a light gun sort of segment.
Yes.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I've heard like great things about that. I mean, I remember I think iPad 12's video sold me on it, where he's like, there's like opening monologue is like, Yakuza is a series about hardship and pain and working in a dead end society that's been and it shows like all the mini games of like wacky stuff happening, and it's like sort of that he manages to frame that contrast like perfectly.
I also fucking love the voice acting because how they say fucking Nani. Yeah, I also like how because it's a prequel, I'm trying to guess which characters live and die.
Yeah, that's probably a good way to start off. I think that's why a lot of people recommend it, on top of it being the best game above the others. Because yeah, like that's kind of what my issue with prequels are. Even with Red Dead Redemption, I'm like, I wish.
What if Red Dead Redemption did a plot twist and John Marston died, and it's an alternate universe?
Yeah, I can't imagine Rockstar doing something like that, like out there like that. But yeah, that would have been. I don't know. I think that it works the way it does fine, just because it's like, what are you going to do? Set a Red Dead Redemption game in the 20s? It's like it wouldn't really work.
Kind of fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
but then you get into mafia territory.
Unless it like panned out like an alternate history sort of thing, where like society is like under the weight of like voodoo magic, or like bring in the undead nightmare stuff.
Oh, that'd be cool.
The main canon.
I want aliens, or I want aliens in Red Dead Redemption for DLC. Picture like Arthur Morgan is a fucking alien Terminator. Boy, as he rips an alien in half.
I mean, you may as well put in the actual Terminator in there because he's in every game.
Okay, he's kind of okay in Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm. I know Jim Sterling just recently put out a video called like the Terminator is in every fucking game now.
Yeah.
Or something. It just shows like Mortal Kombat 11, that Ghost Recon game, and there's a third one. Gears of War.
If it's fair, Mortal Kombat 11 Mortal Kombat's always liked guest characters since the 9th game.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, because Jason and Freddy and the Joker.
I think Terminator is a good guest because he has probably the best gimmick in the game. If you can have an ability where he comes back as a fucking metal endoskeleton, and they play like dun 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 dun.
I'm waiting for a good fighting game to come out. I mean, I think that the best one out right now is Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah, I mean, something that like a lot of people actually play a lot. Because I hear about the. I don't think the fighting game community really likes Mortal Kombat 11.
They are. I have a comment in my fighting game community. They're inbred retards.
Yeah,
I don't want to be an asshole, but like.
I mean, Darkside Phil is technically part of the fighting game community, or at least was. So I guess you're not too far off.
I'm sorry. It's like the Smash fans.
I mean, the Smash fans are like several tiers below like Evo.
My thing is Mortal Kombat 11 is. Why people don't like it is because it's playing around with the rules of a fighting game. Like, there's a character who can manipulate the stage timer as a power. That's cool. They've been playing with ideas and stuff like that, and I like that.
Yeah. I mean, I would like just Mortal Kombat 11 has a story mode, right?
Yeah.
Like, I would like to see more fighting games with story modes.
Hard same, except Soul Calibur had a story mode instead of an arcade mode for one of them, and its story mode was hot garbage.
Yeah, that's always a risk you run with fighting game story modes, is that they're either pretty good or complete garbage.
What they did was they made half the villains jobbers and killed off half the new guys.
Yeah.
Imagine if you showed up for a new game with a new character and died off the same game.
Yeah, I'm hoping that there's like Street Fighter 6 is really good, though I'm not gonna hold my breath. I mean, it is modern day Capcom though, so hopefully we'll get the same quality as DMC5.
Do you know who I want as a guest character for Street Fighter 6? So I could pick one. Nemesis from Resident Evil. No, Mr. X in Street Fighter.
I mean, you'd probably see that in the next Marvel vs. Capcom game. I heard that I think the voice actor for V accidentally leaked that there's going to be a Marvel vs. Capcom or something, but then he was like, "No, that's just what I was just speculating." And then the next picture is Seymour Skinner from The Simpsons with the laser sight pointing at his head.
I know what you're talking about. I saw that one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I would actually think would be kind of cool for a fighting game? Here's be a weird IP: Warhammer fighting game. But obviously it would be have some gun focus, but picture the fucking orc combos.
I mean, since wasn't it they're a company that bought them out? Because I know that with the Vermintide, that was after they teamed up with a studio or something.
I know that there's been the little games that the company making for Warhammer have been devouring each other.
Right.
It's like fucking Their description of Tyranids are how their game companies are playing, just all-consuming swarms.
I guess what I'm getting at is that there have been already a lot of variety in all these Warhammer games.
But
so
not
that
a fighting
but
game.
not a fighting game. So I think that would be a logical step forward. And then with a lot of loot boxes too. That's the reason that I'm sort of hesitant about getting into fighting games. Is because
Mortal Kombat 11 doesn't have loot boxes. It has a little market thing, but you don't have. The only thing that I actually bought was it was time crystals just for a limited time. It was something that you can only get if you pre-ordered, and they threw it up as a surprise thing. Only thing I bought. Half the shit you can earn in the game. That's why I enjoy it so much. Well, and the other half, is Combat Pass, Season Pass. You know how it goes.
And I want to get back to Star Wars Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order. It's
Order.
It has both, it has two subtitles, which I'm like, eh. It kind of reminds me of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. And
Don't you talk shit about that.
Just saying it's kind of convoluted when you have two subtitles to a game.
Very.
But and we'll get to that in a minute. But Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, it's for me it's a 6 out of 10. It's not great, but it's pretty good. It's as GameSpot would say, fair, 6 out of 10. Which means that it's shitty by their definition, I guess. But for me, a 6 out of 10 is above average. So
I wish you had a double-bladed lightsaber in that game.
You actually do. That's your upgrade for the game.
Oh, cool.
You can switch between single and double. And the final move that you get is you can detach the double blades and use it a power attack as dual wielding.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Not as awesome as Jedi Academy though. With that there's a lot of variety to your combat style, at the cost of the combat being kind of wonky. But at the same time, it's a bit more satisfying to cut through a guy in at Jedi Academy, and you can actually cut off limbs in Jedi Academy. And
Platinum Games should have made a Star Wars game.
Oh yeah, can you imagine a Star Wars game that's Metal Gear Rising?
Do you know what I would kill for? If it had the same voice actors as Metal Gear Rising, and you have a fucking Sith go, I'm fucking invincible.
Yeah. That's one thing I hate. One thing I hated about Jedi Fallen Order is that they use real celebrities for the game, and they actually have motion capture for the main character and the rest of the game and the rest of the characters, and that's just really annoying. I know Dick Masterson on the Dick Show, he was saying that makes him a rage. Is when they cast real life celebrities for any video games, like Norman Reedus in Death Stranding. It's just
Ronda Rousey, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Ronda. Yeah, that's a good example.
They did something worse. They have a skin that's. Do you know who DJ Vegas is?
No.
He's that's my issue. He's a fucking Belgian DJ who did a Mortal Kombat cover. He's fucking in the game and the voice actor, the Sub-Zero skin. Sorry.
Yeah, but I really hated. The main character in Jedi Fallen Order is an actor who I'm not really familiar with at all, so
What's
it didn't
his
bother
name?
me. I actually don't remember. I don't know who he is. But he's in a couple of TV shows, I guess they're on right now. I'm gonna have to look this up because it's gonna annoy me for the rest of the.
Sorry if I'm on a Mortal Kombat kick.
fine.
Spawn's coming out for Mortal Kombat. The fucking me and 9-year-old me and Bleed Man are in fucking heaven. I don't know.
The main character actor of Jedi Fallen Order is Cameron Monaghan of Shameless, the TV show, and I'm not really familiar with him. I want to say that's the character who I've been told I look like. I remember I was in the Burger King drive-thru, and the cashier said, "You look like that guy from Shameless." And I'm like, I don't know what that show is. So, but thank you, I guess.
I bumped into a guy in town who I keep bumping into and talking to who looks just like fucking Jeff Goldblum. It is uncanny to the point that you don't want to say someone looks like Jeff Goldblum because he's heard it before. And you don't want to reference Jurassic Park in front of him over Fly or a Jeff Goldblum movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, I think one of the supporting characters in Jedi Fallen Order, the black lady, she has like eyes that just bulge out of her head. It looks like so freaky.
She's got thyroid disorders.
Yeah, and that's really distracting. It was distracting to the point where there's like a scene where it looked like she got killed by Darth Vader, and I'm like, man, I hope that she's actually dead, but I know that she isn't, and of course she survived. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, none of the characters really were likable to me. Like, none of them, actually.
How would you
except for I think, the hot goth girl who shows up at the end.
Does she die?
No. But that's another issue that I have, is that she is, like, completely clothed to the point she looks like a freaking Muslim girl. So it's like, I think that it ties back to what Dick was saying about, celebrity. When you cast a celebrity in a video game, you can't alter their model can't exaggerate anything, because it's like, oh, then it's not like the real person, it's disrespectful and blah blah blah. But then you have, like, when you have a character that you build from the ground up, then it's like you can do anything with the proportions.
Mortal Kombat they didn't use celebrities, but they used face models,
right?
Just so they could get more realistic facial structures in the characters for animations. Mm-hmm. I keep going on Mortal Kombat because I'm on a fucking kick for it, but you remind me, Scarlet, the character who looks like she's got a hijab in her main outfit. Her other outfits are pretty actually good.
Okay.
She, most of them, my favorite one has the boob diamond.
Yeah.
Is she Superwoman or Supergirl?
Yeah.
Power Girl, whatever the fuck her name is.
Yeah, Power Girl is the one with the hole cut out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it pisses me off about, like, especially with, I mean, if this were at any other point in video game history, then I'd be like, whatever. But I think it's like now with Sony cranking down on the censorship, and but Nintendo's actually kind of going in the opposite direction, where they're allowing like hentai games to be sold on the Switch store. So I'm like,
what?
Yeah, it's true.
It's
weird because it was like the complete opposite not too long ago at all.
Remember, like, when you couldn't have swastikas in Wolfenstein?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the old Wii Lego we want to play with you?
Yeah. Now it's, I want you to play with my Wii. God, that's low-hanging fruit. I apologize, but not really.
All you need to do is swing a Wiimote a few times and you'll apologize too.
I think about No More Heroes, like recharging your lightsaber. Going back to Star Wars, yeah. That'd be funny if in the Wii version they just add that in as an Easter egg or something.
Oh my god! You know what I really want for okay, can I tell you my pitch for a Star Wars game would be?
Yeah.
You play as a squad of stormtroopers, and you really flesh these guys out.
Well, there actually is a game like that, except with clone troopers, Republic Commando.
Oh.
That was in the Xbox 360 generation.
Was it good?
I think that it has a cult following. I don't remember it being good. I never played it, but it has that sort of tactical squad gameplay, like Rainbow Six.
Here's my petro. Your stormtroopers are sent to this backwater desert world called Tatooine, and you get fucking brutalized, and you're hunting down
the Freeman.
Yeah, basically hunt down the Freeman of stormtroopers. And or you could take place that follows the same group of stormtroopers as new members or what have, but the leader, I just want to picture him, he's got like a tattoo of a Death Star, like, never forget, never forgive. And then he gets his head cut off by like Obi-Wan, like, whoosh, who is that guy? I don't know. I kind of feel bad for stormtroopers.
Yeah. Have you seen The Mandalorian?
I haven't finished watching, but I've seen most of it so far.
Yeah, there's some stormtrooper characters in that get some character development.
I like the idea that there were some guys who kind of like the Empire. Mm-hmm. It's good if you're a racist human who don't like aliens. Or speciest.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I really want to have a character who wears a Wookiee pelt.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. By the way, The Mandalorian, how far have you seen?
I think I only saw through up to episode 1. I've got too much going on right now.
I apologize, sir.
Watch a lot of stuff.
I binge watched Mandalorian one day. I have to binge watch to get shit done because I usually only get 1 or 2 days off a week.
Really?
What I mean by off is I fill my schedule up with chores and stuff, and I get like 1 day to watch all the shows that I have to watch.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And me, I don't think I have enough. Like, I think I keep getting distracted by that stuff. So it's just a matter. For me, it's sort of the opposite. It's a matter of eliminating as much distractions as possible.
A lot of my I try making schedule for or for playing games.
Yeah.
Because I have friends online.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about the Spawn show.
Sure.
HBO did a Spawn cartoon. It starred Keith David, and it fucking holds up. Obviously, it's based on a '90s comic.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that if you ever get a chance, I really kind of want to see you watch it. It's on YouTube. You know, someone put it on there.
Yeah.
It has some of the best writing I've seen in like something in a long time. But it's probably just the little kid me who watched the show. Like, yeah, say you're a bad motherfucker one more time, Keith David.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the kid me talked.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants to hear Keith David swear because I used to watch Gargoyles.
Mm-hmm.
And then I hear Keith David swear, and I'm like, what the fuck? But what I really like, though, is that is Spawn actually kind of had a brain for a comic in that era.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the whole romance era. Or romance plot.
Yeah. It's like talking about Keith David saying bad motherfucker. It made me think of that scene in Superman, the movie, where like Superman changes into his costume for the first time, and that pimp is out there. And he's like, "Damn, son, that's a bad outfit." I'm just thinking like that. You don't really see the stuff like that in modern day superhero.
We don't address
stuff.
it.
Like I think the most recent stuff where it deals with like campy stuff like that is probably the Sam Raimi films, the Spider-Man movies, and like. I've seen like the big studios try to replicate that with stuff that falls flat on its face, like Suicide Squad. Deadpool, I don't really think counts because that's just a straight up comedy. I'm talking about like straight up superhero movies, but with like stuff that the director just throws in there, like. And like Sam Raimi, for example, he would often have just extras like mug at the camera and stuff. Like the one that everybody points to is from the first movie, and the girl looking up and shouting, "Look, it's Spider-Man!" And it was just a random extra who, like, wasn't even like a celebrity or anything. It was just a random person who Sam Raimi was like, "Okay, just do this. You get to be in the spotlight right now." And then there's like the whole montage where he shows everybody in New York reacting to Spider-Man.
I like shit like that.
I think Andrew Dice Clay was in that montage. He's the guy who's like, "He stinks, and I don't like him."
You know my favorite. I'm sorry. I like the pimp line from Superman.
Yeah, that's like if the first time I saw it, I'm like, I don't like this being in my serious superhero shit. But now I'm like, you know, cape shit. Who cares? It's fun.
My favorite Spawn line like that. There's a part where Spawn's got the huge fucking cape. Guy turns around and says, "I like the math, but I think the cape's a little much. Is it a pride parade today?" And Spawn just fucking decks him.
But then Dumbo is like, "No capes." He's like, "Yes, ma'am."
My favorite thing about Spawn's cape is it fucking like wraps around him and fucking teleports him. It fucking knows like, yeah, we're getting the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah. Now, speaking of the Incredibles, that really was that in the I guess Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie, the first one. Those are both like sort of the 1-2 punch to get superhero movies on their feet. Like if it weren't for the Incredibles, I don't think we would have gotten Iron Man, or at least if not for Spider-Man, I think, because. You think about like the Incredibles, comparing that to say the Tim Burton Batman movies, and how like with the the superhero fight scenes, how with the Incredibles you had like with animation you had the freedom to move the camera anywhere you wanted, so it had like all these super dynamic fight scenes and chase scenes, stuff that you really didn't get in superhero movies up until then.
I always liked The Incredibles because I liked Bob Parr. Bob Parr is one of my favorite characters in fiction, I think. Because I like how grounded he is.
Yeah, he's definitely probably the best character in that whole movie. Which is why I refuse to see Incredibles 2. I mean, I probably will sometime in the near future, but it really just annoyed me.
As soon as I saw the trailer, I saw Shadman just appear of a shit. I like when you can tell, like, when Shadman's gonna jump all over something. Like, I go, there's a disturbance in the force. God. Was the droid annoying in Fallen Order?
No. It was basically just R2-D2 with legs.
Cool.
It's like, yeah, I mean, I don't think he was my favorite character. Like, I can't really think of... I don't think I had a favorite character in that game. They were all just... Not really. I mean, probably the goth girl, just because, you know. I mean, she's not. And like I subscribed to this YouTube channel, Pong Sifu, who kept calling her the goth girl. He's like the Force Witch, I guess.
Yeah.
But she has like a pale complexion, eyeliner, and
Black
stuff.
hair.
But white hair. Actually.
Oh,
So,
ooh.
yeah.
V's like, are you in Devil Trigger?
But I guess she was the only character that I like probably liked. There's a part where like right at the end where because like there's some, I think that I want to say like there was like implied like romance between her and Cal, but they just didn't push it at all. And I'm like, come on. Like that's the one thing that I think Red Letter Media commented on with Star Wars movies, that there's just no romance at all in.
They tried in the second one.
Or and also in Rise of Skywalker, right?
Yeah, they had Kylo Ren kiss Rey, but I actually kind of fucking hate that pairing so much.
They're related, aren't they?
They are. Mm-hmm. That's what's weird. I want to hear. He's got. It's a banjo saber.
Yeah, they're trying to normalize it. The Hollywood elite are infecting our children and making the frogs gay.
Oh my!
What's the Star Wars version of frogs?
They're making the Hutts gay.
Sure.
Oh, wait, no, Hutts are already.
It's the thing that he eats, the thing that Jabba the Hutt eats alive in the third one.
He just goes like, he just grabs it, and goes, too gay for me, and spits it in the bucket.
Nah.
God.
Yeah, that's that thing with the lips in the remastered version. That they ate too much of them, and it ended up turning into. You know the thing I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I don't want you to ever mention that again.
Yeah.
God, I love the remastered version because it's fucking awful.
Yeah.
George Lucas is like a little gremlin. Never let him touch his movie again.
Yeah. I heard that, and I saw like the clip of the Disney Plus version of A New Hope, where it has the Greedo scene, and they used like, I think that they ended up using a version of it that George Lucas never like released, because it's part where the McClunky.
Yeah.
Where like the last line that Greedo says before he gets shot is McClunky, and there's no subtitles, and it's like, what?
He called him it.
I mean, I guess it was never before seen because everybody like jumped on it, and it's like, it's just such a weird, like, I don't know.
I wonder what he's saying. Like, the next scene is like Han goes like, I can't believe he used such vulgar language.
Yeah, that's
it's
the
racially charged alien.
What's the name of the race? It's like not Andorian, but Rodian.
Rodian.
I can't believe that I remember. I'm such a fucking nerd. I'm never gonna have sex again. But it's probably maybe it's their word for the N word.
McClunky.
Yeah.
Hey, humans are like, you can. McClunky's our word. You can call it McClunka.
Despite being 13% of the galaxy, McClunky's commits 50% of space crime.
I'm sorry. I really want to. Oh my god. I just want to. I love Rodians. I love Greedo. He's probably my favorite Star Wars bounty hunter.
You can actually be a Rodian in Jedi Academy.
You're selling me on this game now.
Yeah.
I want to mod the game so every time he kills on you're McClunky.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder if somebody's actually done that by now. I'd probably have that put up a request on the Steam forums if that hasn't been the case. Yeah. I'm trying to remember like all the races you can play as in Jedi Academy, because there's humans, there's a Rodian.
Come on, give us that Plo Koon.
Yeah. Yes.
What the fuck? They have fucking Plo Koon in there?
And Twi'leks.
All right. Basic ass bitch. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, Ahsoka Tano probably is why I like the
red ones with the spikes and tails.
You know the name, you just don't want to say it.
Yeah. Well, that one I actually don't remember the name.
Actually, neither do I.
But I know that that one on the Jedi Councils, you got kind of a spotlight.
Shakti, yeah.
Because I remember the Clone Wars micro series. She goes up against General Grievous, and I honestly prefer the Genndy Tartakovsky micro series to the CGI series, like by a mile and a half.
So who wins the fight?
I'm obviously General Grievous, but like Mace Windu ends up like force crushing his chest, and then that's what causes him to gives him the cough in the third movie.
God, I love that.
Episode 3, yeah. But his and I've shown you the video that compares CGI Grievous in the Clone Wars CGI
The
series.
animated one?
Well, they make him basically a bitch in the CGI series. He gets his ass handed to him. He's basically the mustache twirling villain instead of basically the Terminator.
Do you know what I would do if I had to? Okay, here'd be what I would like to see a Grievous thing. I would like to see Grievous come back somehow.
I mean,
in a game, make it a prequel game so you can play as Grievous.
Oh, that would be neat.
And here's what you do. You make Grievous like a secret boss character. And he walks out there, and he just walks out there, and he kills who you think the villain is and says, now we've gotten rid of the inaccurate, now we've gotten rid of a weak link. As he does his cough. Mm-hmm. He gives you bronchitis. God. You would be a cool idea for a Sith. He has lightsabers around. He's like a big fucker, like a Wookiee, but he has a collar made out of lightsabers from Jedi he's killed. He has lightsaber retardant skin.
I want to say that's already been a thing in the novels, which are not canon anymore, but they're still trying to. Disney's probably going to try and salvage them anyway because they've run out of ideas.
The mythology, the legends.
Yeah. I think Disney actually admitted they've run out of ideas with what to do with the Star Wars movies now.
This is why they fucking shouldn't have bought it.
They go what they fucking deserve.
You know what I want? Okay, here'd be my pitch of how they fix Episode 3. Hire someone like Team 4-Star, a group like Team 4-Star, and redub or not Episode 3, Episode 9. But have Team 4-Star redub the sequels and release it. Or a group like them, that level of talent.
Yeah. I was kind of disappointed to see them release that video saying they're not going to do a bridge series anymore.
Yeah, why didn't they?
I don't know. It's just they said that they were just completely burnt out. But they framed it in the way that where it's they're really upset and dour. I'm I don't want to watch this. Just explain to me what's going on like a fucking man. I mean, I hate to be too hard on them, but it's God, Jesus, you're really digging for sympathy with this, aren't you? It's it's just framed the way they were going on about it. It sounded like one of them died, but I don't think that's the case. I didn't watch the whole video, so I'm not sure. But it's the way they framed it, they were setting it up. They look like they're on the verge of tears. It's like who the hell died? But nobody, I guess.
God.
And if somebody did, then I guess I apologize. I don't know.
Their fucking parents died in a horrible car crash.
I don't know. Again, I didn't watch the whole video. I don't really want to because it's 10 minutes of them going on like that. It's Jesus Christ, just give me the facts.
Give me the car facts.
Just the facts, man. Which is a reference so old that not even I know what that is. That was referenced in an early episode of Rugrats. So I don't know. It's to a different sitcom show or something.
Yeah.
So whatever. And then it was the episode where they're trying Charlotte, her assistant Jonathan, is trying to sell trying to get these clients, and he's he goes to the fax machine. It's it says just the facts, man, the TV show. And then the clients are this old elderly couple. They're we think television is evil.
I like Rugrats. Their animation,
the early season the early first 2 seasons, I think, had really great writing.
You know what? God, I was thinking about this. The theme used to creep me out when I was little.
Yeah, it does have that sort of creepiness to it.
And then you just see the legs come into view as someone hung himself. We're going on a car ride. They're just sitting in the garage, filling up with carbon dioxide.
Surprised there hasn't been any Rugrats creepypasta.
Hold on. I'm going to bet you $0 that there's going to be a Rugrats creepypasta. God, because I honestly...
Oh, wait, yeah, there is, actually, because there was that theory that Angelica is talking to the ghosts of all the dead babies, that...
Yep.
Tommy was a miscarriage or something, and Phil and Lil were that Phil and Lil were a miscarriage, and they didn't know whether it was going to be a boy or a girl, so she imagines them as a twin boy and a girl.
God, if there is a fucking thing, there is a creepypasta for, including Godzilla, who's got one of the best of them, the only good one from memory. God, also Pokemon has the worst creepypastas. Jesus fucking Christ. God.
I mean, a lot of creepypasta is just kind of dumb. I think immediately of Squidward suicides.
Oh.
They actually got referenced in an episode recently.
Which one?
It was the one where they were like lost in another dimension, and they're opening all these doors, and one of them opens to this really creepy face of Squidward with like black eyes or whatever.
In fucking SpongeBob, actually?
Yeah, in an actual episode of SpongeBob.
Worldwide, thousands of children commit suicide out of nowhere. I don't know the thing. You know what I do know? If there's a game that's easily to ROM hack, it has dozens of creepypastas. You check it out. Because either, ooh, spooky, your game says I am kill. Ooh, spooky, says the 13-year-old who learned how to mod Game Boy Advance ROMs.
I know, that reminds me, I still need to play Yume Neki.
Oh, that's a fucking great game. I don't have the patience for it, but I watch a Let's Player. I really enjoy playing it. Picaspri. Don't play the new one. Play the original.
Right. Like the Steam version is the new one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it has 3D graphics, don't touch it.
Yeah. Have you checked out Petscop yet?
Petscop. Not yet. Is that the horror?
Yeah, the YouTube channel one.
I'm gonna fucking check it out. I have it saved on my notes.
Yeah.
I have little notes that I make on my phone that are like the Unabomber scrawlings.
I think it's been described as, I guess, the last good creepypasta. Described by me, of course. I've never heard anybody say
Was
that.
Marble Hornets good?
I remember it was good. Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that. Because, yeah, that is what I would... It's basically Marble Hornets meets a Let's Play with Petscop.
Ooh. I wonder if they released the game from Petscop.
Well, it's... From what I understand, because it was the creator's out-of-character... Twitter accounts, he explained that there is a game version of Petscop that he records the footage off of, but it's in such a unpolished state that it requires so much, I guess, RAM to operate that it's basically impossible to create a working version of it for the community.
I see.
But I think that the community actually is working on a fan recreation of it, so that should be interesting. If he actually does decide to collaborate with these the fan community, then that would be neat to see.
I had the idea of what I would like to do for I was thinking about what I always liked about creepypastas, because there are some good ones out there. There's always a diamond in the rough. I like some early Slender Man. Early, fucking early, before all the fans are like, ooh, let's lick slack to the tentacle jack.
Yeah, so Something Awful era Slender Man.
Yeah. I kind of like that. I like
Yeah.
SCP.
Uh-huh.
The SCP's not creepypasta, is it?
Oh, I think it might count as creepypasta. I'm not sure. I guess it depends on what your definition is, but I would probably define it as creepypasta.
It's creepy fettuccine.
Yeah.
But I really, really like the idea of how it's urban horror. It's modern mythology.
Yeah. I liked Internet Historian's Jeff the Killer movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Jeff the Killer can fucking go shoot himself. I hope they find the author of Jeff the Killer.
The what?
The author who wrote it.
Oh, yeah.
You think he'd fucking make bank on that, selling that to a movie executive?
No, I think he's too ashamed of his childhood to really, cash in on it.
God.
I think that a lot of people who do those cringy stuff when they're a teenager, they're very hesitant to go back and say, "Hey, I'm the guy who did it. Give me money."
If Gannix was like, in 2009, a man wrote a fan fiction of Evangelion meets Looney Tunes. It happened. If we find this guy, we will give him $9 million. If they posted that and I saw that because that was me, I would not fucking accept it. Unless they dropped it to $10 million and threw in a free, gift card for Starbucks or Subway.
speaking of like fan fiction, I remember I was really big into Star Wars fan films when I was a kid. I think it was like between episodes 2 and 3 where I was like, yeah.
I'm sorry. Now I can call you in there. It's fine.
You can stand by that because I actually wrote a full script for a fan film that I wanted to do with my friends at the time.
If you still have a script, we have to fucking do it.
Unfortunately, it's lost to time, to my knowledge.
If you find that, we have to fucking do it.
Yeah, I'll think about recreating it if we can get enough people on board.
Do you remember the gist?
Yeah, it was like a Jedi who goes off on his own to and he crash lands on a planet, and he attracts the attention of the robot army, and then a dark Jedi ambushes him, and then they have to fight the army by themselves on this farmhouse on this planet.
That's actually Night of the Living Dead meets the farmhouse.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
That's actually kind of a cool idea. Mm-hmm. They should be battle droids in Droidica.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
That's fucking scary because I'm sorry, from a Jedi's point of view, like, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck. God.
But yeah,
if it makes you feel better, I wrote a script for how I would do a game that is Devil May Cry meets Blood Rain. And of course they fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were talking about doing fan films last week.
Yeah, but we're older.
Yeah, now that we're older and Blender is free to use, and you can make CGI effects and stuff for free.
If we do Persona, do you know what I think would be a funny Persona skit? Just do have a guy whose persona my persona is Sean Bean.
What?
Sean Bean, the guy who always dies.
Well, I mean, why him though?
I don't know. So his persona shows up and they both die. Or it's like the Persona characters who suck at it.
I was thinking if I was writing the script, I'd do a JoJo's fan film.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
'Cause I'm more familiar with JoJo's than I am with Persona.
I wonder what I would be what would be your stand if you had to pick right now? Because we talked about this in the past.
Well, I know that the fan film a fan project that I had envisioned was the main character has a stand called Strutter, which allowed him to walk on any surface on walls or ceilings.
Is it inspired by a song?
Yeah, Kiss, Strutter.
Oh, I don't know Kiss.
Yeah, I mean that's the one, probably the one song by them that I actually enjoy. They're a lot of their stuff is overplayed, Rock and Roll All Night. I've heard that so many times, I'm sick of it. I can't really think of any others actually.
Could I tell you what I think would be a really dumb stand? Panzerkampf from Sabaton. Into the Motherland, that Russian song. Because with your power, he can cross snow or barriers, just cross through barriers with ease.
Another idea I came up with a while ago was Venus and Mars, based on the Paul McCartney, the Wings album.
Ooh.
So you have a stand that's able to shift between attack and defense, Mars and Venus.
That'd be kind of cool because you could have it would be a simple effect that maybe Mars would be obviously defense, correct?
That would be attack.
Oh, attack, because we've got a war. Venus is love. You could have Venus be the shield with the planet's logo or alchemical sign. And then, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And I had an idea for what a JoJo's movie would actually be. I think I've mentioned this before on the podcast. Was the alternate universe where you have the main character be a Joestar, but it's in it's in an alternate universe from the main timeline or the I guess the timeline after Part 6. It gets weird after Part 6 because that takes place in an alternate universe.
Plot twist. Dio didn't get that stone mask. The first Joestar did. And all of his descendants have to fix the first guy's evil curse. So Dio is kind of trying to fix it, but he's still fucking Dio. The mask doesn't change who he is.
Yeah, you could. I think that a lot of that's what I think about with the Sonic movie, because I think that's what spawned going back into fan films and fan films of movies or comics and video games. Is that the Sonic movie I mentioned before? It played it so straight that it was just kind of sickening, And I want to like I like there's like the reason I like just like Super Mario Brothers the movie over Sonic is just because it had more fun with the weird ideas and stuff. Even though disregarding the hellish production of Super Mario Brothers the movie, it has some neat, weird and interesting ideas in there.
I fucking love Yoshi in that movie.
Yeah, I mean it's basically just a Velociraptor from Jurassic Park. But yeah, it is fun. It is great. But
I like the fashion too.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one thing I don't like about the Sonic movie is that it sort of sets a new precedent of hey, let's just make a kids movie but with video game characters in it. And I remember actually watching Mega 64's podcast, Rocco. He was saying how like the Sonic movie just feels like it talks down to kids in the audience. It doesn't give kids enough credit, and I immediately was like, yeah, that's definitely the vibe I got from it. That's why I was saying when I'm comparing it to Spider-Verse and the other, like the Lego movie.
Even Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
It had, it wasn't exactly...
I heard that there were more fart jokes in Detective Pikachu than there were in Sonic, though.
I don't remember any in the top of my head.
Yeah, you might want to rewatch it.
But I also fucking love a lot of Detective Pikachu's visual design.
Yeah, the world building is great. You said that there was like a artist from DeviantArt they got to design it. Yeah.
And what's really fucking cool is like he did subtle realism.
Mm-hmm.
Like a little bit of fur on Ludicolo.
Mm-hmm. Reminds me, I gotta play some classic Sonic games, or at least Sonic Mania.
Play Sonic Unleashed.
It would be great if they remastered that to make the frame rate not shitty.
Hey, make a release of all the shitty Sonic games.
Yeah, I mean,
Sonic 06.
Yeah, it would be great if they could make a Sonic version of Sonic 06 that's actually good. That would be like a miracle.
I like every design. I like the Eggman in that game.
Really?
I kind of do.
I mean,
I like his design. It's the best realistic Eggman in the game.
They certainly make him look realistic. I'll agree with you on
I'm
that.
going to look at him again real quick because you have to understand it's been like... Okay, let me be honest. It's been like... since like 10 years since I thought about that game. Okay? 06. First result, Sonic 06 Eggman.
Mm-hmm.
Never fucking mind. I forgot what he looked like.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I apologize.
And I hate that they give him visible eyes, like in the profile.
That's what I meant. That's what I saw. I'm like, oh no, that's a fucking cursed image.
Yeah.
You know why I like Eggman? Is that he's the archetypal mad giant or mad genius. He didn't need to do much.
Mm-hmm. I remember saying that. Like if they had to recast Jim Carrey, if they like a different actor, like say give it to I can't remember his name.
Park and Rex.
Nick Offerman. But then I went home and I'm like, who would actually be better than that?
Who?
Bryan Cranston.
Oh fuck!
Like, he would actually be perfect because he's like people think of Breaking Bad, but he was also in a lot of comedy stuff too. Like Malcolm in the Middle. You think of Hal and like how zany he is, and I think you could actually find a really good middle ground between that and like the dramatic Breaking Bad stuff.
You know what'd be fucking amazing? You have like 3 generations of Eggman as Nick Offerman, Bryan Cranston, Jim Carrey, all in the same movie. One's the uncle, one's the father. Oh, that'd be fucking cool. I'm sorry, I just love mustache twirling villains sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like feeding a fucking puppy to piranhas and Spawn. That's fucking hysterical. It's how he did it. It's like it's the wanton cruelty is just so hysterical.
I remember, speaking of killing puppies, somebody brought up Elfenlied in one of the things I was watching.
Oh my god!
And like the way they were going on about it, I'm like, it makes me glad that I stopped after episode 1. So I'm like, the general opinion of Elfenlied is not favorable from what I found.
Yeah, the creepy guy who I knew in school who was really creepy was really an Elfenlied.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know that I'd said in the past that if I had to pick any director to do a live-action adaptation of Elfenlied, it would probably be Lars von Trier. Mm-hmm. Or at least get him to do any like weird and grimdark anime like that.
Evangelion, even?
I think he could do that. I think he could pull it off. I don't know. With Evangelion,
I think Evangelion would probably need Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, That was my. I wasn't gonna say that because Pacific Rim seems a little too obvious.
Or David Lynch.
Michael Bay.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Can you like they're actually? I remember seeing an animation of that. What if Michael Bay directed Evangelion, and it's just Shinji like being like, "Hell yeah, brother, let's kill some shit."
No, I'm gonna tell you what it would be like on the battle side. Every battle would be like the Evangelions will fucking find the gas refinery to throw the angel into. They should make an oh my god. I don't even like Ava, and I felt bad for Ava with them at the limits. Do you know who's to direct it? I think the director should be Tommy Wiseau. No, do you know Michael Breen is Gendo Ikari, also the director.
Yeah, Neil Breen. Yeah.
Neil Breen.
Yeah.
Neil Breen.
He could make a good Gendo.
You're
pilot the Ava, Shinji, or we'll have to get Rey to do it again.
I really also think Tommy Wiseau should make more movies, but give him like a budget of Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker.
All right.
Give him that budget and tell him do whatever with it.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
You would just get him. Remember the room he was supposed to be a vampire?
Oh yeah, like halfway through production, he's like, "I want my car to fly off the roof."
I have a question for you. What if that was the plot of the whole movie and we just don't know? Like, it's actually Vampire the Masquerade. Like, he's a fucking, like, Malkavian. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. So he shoots himself to fake his death. Oh, but he also is out in sunlight in half the movie, so he can't.
Yeah. In all seriousness, like, the next video game movie to come out, what do you think they're... I mean, disregarding everything right now.
What is coming out?
Monster Hunter, the movie.
Oh, I fucking saw the poster and it fucking... You have to understand, I don't want to get pissed off about Monster Hunter, even though I love Monster Hunter. I saw that. I saw the plot summary, and inside me, I felt an anger brewing. Fuck that movie and Mila Jovovich. Go fuck her.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, her fucking husband's directing it, right?
I mean, yeah, he directs all the movies where she's the main character.
You know what? Fuck both of them. Star good actors. I think Mila Jovovich kind of sucks. She plays... Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm venting. This is my nerd rage.
Yeah, it's... I feel like...
You know what it's going to be? The fucking dragons, and they're gonna use swords, and the swords don't work. So she's gonna somehow fucking pull a machine gun out of her crotch and shoot the fucking monster down.
No, she's gonna get psychic powers halfway through the movie.
Oh god.
Yeah.
And you know what I would like? They should make it realistic in Monster Hunter World, and she picks a fight for Rathalos and just bites her in half and flies off.
Yeah, this movie-going public that wants good adaptations of video game movies, they're gonna know how Sonic movie fans feel.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, Sonic game. Because, like, I remember when Sonic Mania came out, and everybody loved it, and then immediately after Sonic Forces came out, like, 2 months later.
God. There's a rage inside me. If there's a Mortal Kombat movie coming out, by the way.
Is there?
Yeah, it's in pre-production. They're getting all their ducks in a row. And I pray it won't suck.
Yeah.
They're also making an anime movie that's being done by the Warner Brothers animated team. It looks like Batman the Animated Series. It looks actually really fucking good.
Huh. Do you think they're... I mean, I haven't seen any of the character models, but have you seen the original cartoon of Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Defenders of the Realm?
Yeah, I've actually seen a few of the episodes.
How do the character designs look compared to them? The new one.
And the new one, from memory, they've obviously updated them quite a bit because back in the old days, remember Sub-Zero is just literally blue, but they added more detail. Like Sub-Zero has like fucking stark white skin, his eyes are pale. They're going for more classic Bihan.
Yeah, because I remember the old Mortal Kombat cartoon. It looked like Batman the animated series, kind of.
Yeah, it's got more fidelity, I think is the word.
Okay, because I think that. Yeah, you're probably right, because the new DC animated movies, they look more detailed. They look less like the Bruce Timm stuff.
Yeah, they even actually give Goro bracelets that were in the concept art but never made it into the game. That's how detailed it is. Also, I heard a rumor that they were approached for Rock, and Rock was approached to play Shao Kahn.
The Rock's in every movie now. He was in the Rampage movie, which was our first episode.
I just want to picture that crossover now. You just have like George, and then all of a sudden a hammer flies through his skull. And also, Chris Pratt is Johnny Cage. Mm-hmm. I kind of like that casting.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
It's kind of hard to cast Johnny Cage. Mm-hmm. You have to think of blonde funny men. Or,
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth could be a good one, actually, too.
Yeah, yeah, I think so, yeah. Like, I think that Hollywood figured out that he's actually funny or good with... I mean, since Thor Ragnarok, but...
I have known he was funny since Cabin in the Woods. I'm not trying to gatekeep. Mm-hmm. But no one saw Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, I haven't seen Cabin in the Woods. You know, Joss Whedon directed and wrote that.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, Joss Whedon can be a good writer/director when he wants to.
I would have Josh Whedon horror story. Josh Whedon will direct your comics movie, but he will do it in Buffy speak. God, I just put a picture. God, I'm sorry. I know Buffy speak just fucking irritates you.
Yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10, how bad?
Like, probably 8. Not like full 10.
What's a full 10 irritation writing trope?
Think about the Emoji Movie. That's probably a 10 for me.
Okay, can I tell you a trope that pisses me off? When they fucking let the bad guy get off. Like, I believe there's some... Here's what I mean. When a villain can escape in a plot, it's fine. But when the writer lets the villain get off, do you get what I'm trying to say here? Like...
Yeah.
Like, can I give you an example from a new Star Wars?
Sure.
Kylo Ren massacred hundreds of planets of the new Star Killer shit. And all he gets is a slap on the dick and a lightsaber for the chest. And they go, oh, boo-hoo, he died. Bullshit. I would have cut his nuts off and hung it around his neck. That's how much I hated Kylo Ren. Because they let him get away. They treat him like he's morally gray. No, he's fucking evil. He's the Mussolini to Palpatine's Hitler.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm ranting.
I know Thomas pointed this out. Thomas Royal pointed this out a couple months ago. Was how when a villain, like when in a fight scene with the bad guy, when he has like the hero by his throat, and instead of crushing their throats, and they just like throw him across the room. And it's like, that's not what a villain would do. If the villain's trying to kill the hero, then they're not going to just throw them lightly across the room and into like a pile of garbage. They're going to like just fucking squeeze until like their head comes off.
In the Mortal Kombat story mode, they do something playing with that, where it's Mortal Kombat gets summoned back to life because he's been dead since Mortal Kombat 9.
Who?
It's Shao Kahn.
You said Mortal Kombat gets brought back to life.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's Shao Kahn,
Yeah.
sorry. And they have him, and so he finds out one of his flunkies took over as Khan named Kodal, and he's fucking about to kill this dude, and half of the fucking army's like, what do we do? So they're beating on him. It's hysterical to me. Because I love Shao Kahn. I'm sorry, I apologize. But I just love how Mortal Kombat is getting better at writing with every game. I actually felt bad when Ronda Rousey Sonya Blade dies when they bring her back as a young Sonya Blade. Who's still Ronda Rousey, but she's young. And doesn't know Johnny Cage fucking knocked her up.
Oh, you know, that reminds me. In Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, there's like some flashbacks to when Cal, the main character, is a kid.
Yeah.
And instead of getting a kid voice actor to voice him, they just pitch the character's voice up like a few octaves. And there are some parts where it is so fucking obvious that I'm like, God, that is so distracting. It's like they couldn't even get a actor with a higher voice to like voice him. They had to like digitally pitch his voice up. It's the dumbest thing ever.
Is Fred in Star Wars now?
Oh, I wish that they had done that. Or there was like a cheat to where, like the flashback, they just,
hey everybody, it's me. I'm gonna do a
Hey, it's me, Cal, and I'm gonna show you how to pop off a stormtrooper's helmet with his head too. I don't have Fred talk. His voice ages me. It makes me. Oh my god.
Yeah. Reminds me of the Alvin and the Chipmunks. I was thinking back to when you showed me Sludge Fest.
Oh yeah.
And it made me think about because there's a cartoon YouTube guy, Toonrific Tariq, I think is his handle, and he was talking about the old Chipmunks cartoons, where it's like he was pointing out how the chipmunks all sound like this. There's gaps in between their words. And he was like, "Oh, that's weird. I don't know why they do that." But I know why they do that. It's because back then they didn't have the ability to digitally pitch up a person's voice. They had to speak like this in order to... You get what I mean.
Do you know what else movie did that? Freddy Krueger did.
He talked.
He talked like, I think it was either much faster or slower, and they slowed him down to make his voice deeper.
Yeah, sounds like somebody would be talking fast in order to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting how
Technology has changed the ability to cheat with voice acting.
oh yeah, you bring in auto-tune too.
Oh god, I want to have I want a droid who talks in auto-tune in Star Wars.
You know, the auto-tune effect doesn't actually work if you're a good singer, where you need to like intentionally sing off key in order for it to like have that filter effect, I guess.
I wonder how I would sound auto-tuned. Wow, you sound like another fucking animal.
Yeah, I feel like I sing too good and like to make it come out like that. Yeah, just bragging a little bit, patting myself on the back for singing in the car.
You can hear keys. I don't think I can hear key. I've been learning of a harmonica. By the way, how are we doing on time?
We're about a minute and 5, or an hour and 5. Yeah. It's, anything else you want to talk about?
Nothing comes to mind.
One thing I wanted to mention is that I'm probably going to be on Pocket Jack's YouTube stream next week.
Oh, cool.
He's a guy like this whole Discord that I found where like comic script writers they've been putting their scripts on there. Thomas has too, and I put the script for the first chapter of the Yesterday Kids up there. I guess it's a first come first serve, or anyone who offers to go that night like tweets or messages in the Discord if they want to go, and I'm planning on doing that next Wednesday. So this episode is going to go up probably on Friday. This is going to be because I had to miss recording last week because of my brother's birthday.
Oh, such a dumb obligation.
I mean, you had to you had to work with your mom like a month ago.
Yeah, I went to a fucking nursing home.
Yeah.
The old aren't human. They're eldritch.
There's a
I'm kidding.
There's a bubblegum crisis that has them fighting boomers.
God, what is that?
It's like the robots in the series Bubblegum Crisis. They're called boomers, so it recontextualizes nowadays like the whole thing.
Oh my god. Oh, I actually think that for Yesterday Kids, this is my lore suggestion. They should call people who survive the war atom boomers, or bombers. Call them bombers.
Well, actually, it had the term be neo-baby boomers.
Oh, I like that.
People who were born after after World War III.
Do they shave their heads bald?
I don't know. We'll see. Right now, because I think that last week I was thinking about whether, and occasionally I'll go back and forth between Yesterday Kids and Cat Kid. I think you'll probably be able to find like an episode back like a year or so talking about how with Cat Kid that's a series where I feel like I could do like a limited series, like 12 issues, and basically say everything that I need to say at that point. Even though there is some world building in there, like there's enough like episodic stuff, like self-contained stuff where I could probably put out like 3 issues and then like just to like test where I'm at right then.
Test the waters.
Yeah, test the waters is how I say it. But with Yesterday Kids, that's the one I really want to do. Even though it is a very, very long-term, like, shonen size type story that I could see myself doing for the next 10 years. It's probably the one I'm more passionate about, the one that I have a better handle on, like, the world building. I've, like, spent the last 3 years at this point building the world of the Yesterday Kids, and with Cat Kid, it's been more, like, probably under 1 year, like, fleshing out the details of that. Even with Cat Kid, it's like I'm still not sure if like the paranormal part I want to go with, or if it's like with that it's just a kind of a more tangled, I guess, like a ball of yarn. If we're gonna go into the cat thing,
a ball of yarn with no ends and only beginnings.
Yeah, But yeah, I guess I'm sort of flip-flopping back and forth between those two. And there's also the Yesterday Kids mini comics I have on Webtoon. Still need to do the next one of that. I wanted to do like a page a week for the cartoony
Can I
one.
suggest a joke one?
Sure.
You should do on the shop class and how it is in the future.
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting because I know that one of the ideas I had for a tool already was a laser lathe, which is what one of the characters uses to sharpen this sword he buys from a flea market.
Oh my god!
Like because it sort of.
You know what should happen? He just and then he holds up just a metal slag.
Yeah, it's all dripping and stuff.
Oh, you got slag on my leg.
You might want to turn down the exposure for that. I don't know. It's stuff that I've been thinking about. I mean, the Webtoon one, I wanted to be able to get a page a week out, or an episode a week. They call them episodes on Webtoon, which is just adds to the confusion. Because, like, even with the Yesterday Kids, or like when I'm doing the scripts, I can't tell if I want to call it like chapters or issues or what. But then they throw in episodes, and I'm like, oh, what do I call it now? I don't know. It's but I guess the point I'm trying to make is that I want to be able to. I want to have like a work output of page a week before I think about doing anything like super serious for like year or 10-year plans, I guess.
Wow, you and a certain Stalin both had a 10-year plan. That's a dumb joke. I apologize.
What are you working on right now?
I'm working on Night Vinave. I do want to say though that when you talk about your comic, I can actually see the vision in your eye. I see just when you talk about your creative process, I see you light up like Mike's the class of a beer.
Or when he's talking about Star Trek.
Yeah.
And I hope to be as good at making comics as I am talking about comics in the very near future.
I'm still working on Night Vinave. I fucking forgot to save the Celtic file after I wrote like a couple pages. So I'm rebuilding, changing it. I'm working on some prose shit because I want to do narration in Night Vinave once in a while where there'll be like, when there's a character explaining something, I want to have like almost wordy segments where it's, you know, like narration on the top, done like a tapestry almost. And I'm playing with just the aesthetic of the world. I decided I'm going to make it the worst world you could possibly want to live in. Dwarf Fortress-esque world, as in, there are people wearing mongoose leather for fuck's sake.
Yeah, when you have a first chapter script or so finished, I would suggest looking into like Pocket Jacks. And,
you should hook me up.
I will. I'll send you a link to the Discord once you have something ready, and also once you have like a good microphone set up because they like stream this stuff.
Oh shit!
They prefer to have somebody call in. So if you're not comfortable with that, then you don't have to worry like about sending it in, I guess.
I still want to check it out though.
Yeah, yeah. You can listen to the stream on Wednesday of the. Let me check today's the 4th, so it'll be. What's 4 plus 7?
4 plus 7, 7, 8, 9, 11.
Yeah, March 11th at around I guess 10 or 11 p.m.
Man, wow. I'm sorry. You know, one of the things I've been worried about in my comic is, I don't know where it's the aesthetic that I'm trying to nail. And I'm worried that like when I'm going too hard to the aesthetic, maybe if that's possible.
Yeah. Well, I think that I mean, once you get some good input on it, then I think that you'll be able to figure out it a lot better. And really, the only way you'll know is once you actually have it finished.
Well, certainly.
And it requires a lot of time too. Like I said, with my Yesterday's Kids comic, it's taken me like 3 years to nail down the world building, and even now I'm still like thinking of new questions to ask myself about how stuff works in this world.
I wonder what the most commonly eaten fruit is.
Yeah, stuff like that just gets
I'm gonna be the fucking George Lucas to you, like, tell me of your world.
Yeah, stuff that like probably won't ever even be brought up in the comic, but stuff that's it's important that you keep in the back of your head at least.
I kind of want my world to look like a Frank Frazetta painting if Frank Frazetta was coming off of a heroin binge.
Yeah, and I think that as long as you put your mind to it, you're able to get everything. I'm a little bit burnt out because we're nearing the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No. I just want to say my wisdom of a day. This is a real fucking French quote. If the sky is falling, I hope to catch a lark.
And on that note, I've been Tony.
I've been Zach.
And this has been The Monkey Bar.